Hello, let's look at the questions of the quizzes. The first one, look at the picture. So the dog doesn't stand still, it is moving. So the motion of the dog is in the position is something stated, direction is where the dog faces, in the direction of the boy. Then if we look at number 2, we have 50-meter race results. So the distance is 50 meters. 3 kids completed the race within 16, 12 and 14 seconds. What can we know with these results? We have distance, we have time, so we can know the speed of the runners. Now let's look at the map. Here we have 2 girls who walk from the library to the playground. We have Lena and Sasha. Lena used the bike path. We can count that the bike path is 40 plus 60 plus 5 is 105 meters long, and a sidewalk is 30 plus 40, 70 meters long. What can we predict? Here we can choose 2 statements which will be correct. Sasha got to the playground best because Lena stopped to look at the rabbits. Of course, we can presume that the person who stops on the way will come to the appointed place later. The other thing which we can presume is that Lena got to the playground first because she traveled on a bike, and then a person rides a bike, it is faster than walking. Now look at number 5. Jacob goes to school. Again, we have 50 plus 160. It is 210 meters to school. So we have distance. To find out the speed, we need to know time, because speed is distance divided by time. Now, Albert is watching a roller coaster. He notices that when the coaster leaves the station, it moves slowly up a big hill. At the top of the hill, the coaster looks like it almost stops. So first, the speed of the roller coaster almost stops at the top. So before the top, it was very slow. As the coaster goes down the big hill, Albert notices the coaster is moving very fast. The coaster continues to move fast through a series of turns. Finally, the coaster slows down and it gets closer to the station. It comes to a complete stop at the station. So, the coaster travels the least distance per second when it moves very slow. And according to the task, the roller coaster moves very slowly when it moves up the hill. When the coaster travels slower, of course, it just takes more time to get to the place. Let's have a look at the second quiz. In number 1, we have a number of steps. So we are moving in a square. We stop at step number 6. So the 7th step will continue this square pattern. The 7th step will be number 1 and the 8 will be number 2. Now we have a game of kickball, and we have the picture which shows us a home plate, base 1, base 2 and base 3. Sack of the base, Ava will run to first after she kicks the ball. And Ava is at home plate. When she kicks the ball, she will run to the first base. It's like in baseball. Next, we have the table of the game. and kicking observation. The question is, it is your time to kick. There are no teammates on the base. The table shows observation you made how the ball was kicked. So if the ball is kicked in the direction of the first base, the kicker is not safe. If the ball is kicked in the direction shown on this table, on this picture, the kicker is sometimes safe. This direction of the ball shows that the kicker is not safe, and this direction on the picture shows that the kicker is safe in all cases. So we choose this picture, which says us that when the ball moves right to the third base, the kicker is safe. If we look at the picture of a girl, she's going to throw the ball over the bridge towards the pole with the flag. If we observe these two slides, we can see that slide on the right is much longer. And if we think about the boy sliding down, we can presume that one boy will slide down longer, the boy on the right, than the boy on the left. So we can make a conclusion about the time a person is going down each slide. In quiz number 3, let's look at the picture of a ball and a cart. So there are two forces on the wagon. The boy touches the wagon on the cart, and the cart touches the ground. So these are contact forces. The boy, of course, pulls on the cart, and there is a friction which always acts on the cart when we have movement. Let's look at the table. Here we have to find the statement which is wrong. Push of feet is a contact force. Of course, push of hands, contact force, because we touch objects with our hand. Gravity is non-contact force. It's absolutely right. We can't see it. Friction is non-contact, which is wrong, because friction always acts onto objects and moves in the opposite direction. So we choose friction as the wrong variant, which is D, the wrong option. Now we can see a girl who pushes the couch. The arrow on the picture shows in the different direction which the girl pushes towards the movement of the girl. So we can presume that it is friction, which always moves in the opposite direction. Now, the girl covers the legs of the couch in plastic. The forces on the couch in the first picture, and we can presume that when covered in plastic, the friction will be lower and the girl can move the couch easier. So the forces on which she applies in the first and in the second picture are not equal. If we look at these materials, we were trying some of them in class, we can presume that plastic is the material which creates the least amount of friction between the objects, and the objects move very fast on its surface. Monique puts a glass of water on the table. A couple of minutes later, the cat accidentally knocks over a glass of water. Which two statements are correct? First, when the glass is on the table, it is not moving. It means that it is the object of two opposite forces. This is option A. The forces which act on the glass is equal and opposite. Then the cat moves the glass. We can presume that the force of the cat on the glass is greater than the force of friction on the table. That's why the glass falls down.